Hey folks, it's Ben. Ignore the awesomeness over there. Video 2, I think. I did the first video, which is awesome. Totally take a look at that. I'll put a card in if I remember to. On bringing this 1994 Buick Regal home. I brought it home and I parked it in the Quonset and I moved along. And the winter went by and now it's springtime. My boy, who this is the car is going to, is 16 and he'll be getting his license hopefully soon. This will be the car that he'll have to tool around in. It's only got 181,000 kilometers, which is not many miles. So let's get her going. Now the big issue we have here is that the battery's stone cold dead. So been charging that thing, and actually I hopped in it yesterday. It's been charging for a while, and it's like, oh, I wonder if it's good to go. And I tapped the starter and it started. I didn't capture it on video. My apologies for that, but that's okay. We got to start it again to get the heck out of here. So let's do that. I checked the oil and it has some, so we're aces there. We're going to be doing today is an automatic transmission service. I'm a little worried about the transmission, but these 4T60s like their fluid. They like it nice and new, so we're going to work on that. The other issue I got to do to get it out of here is we're sitting on the rim on that guy. Everything else is enough to get it to the other Quonset. We got to fix that. That's ugly. Ugh. But anyway, let's get this barn find. See, it's got the barn patina. The Bonneville's getting barn patina, and the Caprice, which has been there for like 4 years, is patinaed right up. She's ready to hit the road. But let's get this Buick on the go. So let's start it up. In fact, I should start it up now and then fix the tire because I got my compressor right over there. It should be happy girl. Who doesn't like a 94 Buick Regal? I don't know if I love these seats yet, to be honest with you. It's a bench seat. Stick the key in, hit the go. It says it's 119. Survey says and the current check engine light is not on. Isn't that fancy? Oh, praise the 3.8. There is the small scent of electrical fire going on, so let's get it out of the Quonset anyway. All right. It's a Haververse. Clunk. Sweet. See if I can back up without hitting anything. She sunk in a little bit. Nice. And the brakes are grindy. Easy there, fella. Awful close to the door there. Bring your nose around a little bit. Here we go. Still just the fasten seatbelt light. Back up here. We'll get out in the sun, take a walk around, I think. This is gonna be more of a, maybe I should link to the part where we do the transmission because we've got some updates to do on this thing too. I think that was a very weak impulse with the doors to lock. Oh, I didn't realize all the cat prints on the rear. Woo! Brakes are like, hi, I'm rusty. Okay, that was park. Can I get out? Thanks. This car doesn't have functional door locks, so from the outside, so heads up for that. Yeah, still got that electrical burning smell, so that's winning. Enough air on that tire. It's been a while. It looks like it's been a while. Lugs are all on that wheel. That one's up enough now. Ready to, ooh boy. Okay. Guess we got some videos coming up on body repair. That's Bondo. Body repair. Lots of videos in this girl. Ooh, wow, I did not see that. Oh, it's a Leaf, that's why. All right, let's go for a quick slip down the road and we'll stick her in the Quonset. Love this on a W body, isn't that? Ooh la la. Do I have a volt light? Volts are volting. I think they overheated it at one point. Oh, oil pressure. That's a good one to check. Oh, what are the chances? Do we have any go-go juice? Yay, mud. It's got voltage, it's just that slow. Alright, now we're cooking it. Look out there, kitty. Don't want to squish you. Now I drove this thing from about an hour away to home, so obviously it's going to go down the road just fine. But I want to get the transmission shifting a little bit. Does it have any gas in it? Oh, 3/4 of a tank. So there's 1, 2. Speedometer's so tiny. That's all I got out of her. It's been parked for a while, so I don't want to get too hot on it, right? Warm herself into it, and I'd rather pound on it with new fluid in it as well. Still got that lovely burning smell. Okay, let's go. Guess that's good enough. It's something anyway. Not gonna have all that. Probably already had all the debris in the bottom of the pan anyway, but blinker barely works. Perfect. It seems like it's low voltage. Everything's so slow. He's clunking in the rear going on. That's fun. I think it doesn't have that W body bud drop because the front end's so weak too. Anyway, so let me move the generator out of the way of the Quonset. I think I'll back it up onto some ramps. I don't hit the Grand Prix here. Swoosh. Alright, I got chickens under my deck. Alright, let's get the ramps in there. We'll back her into the Quonset. Nothing blatantly on fire yet. My guess is mice, honestly. A little bit different layout than the Series 2, for sure. Power steering pump's way down on the Series 2. Alternator is over here. Ignition coils are still there, ICM's still there. ICM, ignition control modules. This is very cute. It's small, fancy. Nothing's smoking, so that's cool. But what this video is going for is, there's blinking paint there too. So we're gonna do transmission service right out of the gate because I think that's my weakest link. So here's our pan, and but I'm gonna make the boy do all the hard work. So that's what we're gonna do next. Is we'll drop the pan, and we'll get that filter changed out. Here I have an under the bed storage holder. The neat thing is it's got wheels, so you can slide it under the car or not. It's not that heavy, but it's big and it's long and it's watertight. So we can put this underneath the pan approximately, and it's gonna catch everything we drop on it. In fact, it might be better to put it this way.
Yeah, that looks better.
Yeah, there we go. And that way, as we undo bolts, it's gonna start dripping. It's just gonna all go in the pan. No big deal. He's got gloves on because I'm making him do all the work, not me. And we're going to loosen all these bolts and drop it down that way. So I'll probably put this on a tripod, we'll time lapse it and have some fun. All right, so that's complete. Reach out here and let's grab this guy. I just had him set it here. The fluid is really brown. Remember, this stuff is traditionally fairly clear and fairly pink, and I want gloves for that. So honestly, this is the best part of the game. Not doing the bolts, that sucks. But reading what the heck's going on in the transmission. So if we do a finger pull here, you can see that there is some material there, if it'll focus on my finger, which doesn't want to, but not a lot. There's no chunks. There's a little bit of this. That's fine, but our key indicator also is our magnet. So I'll take a screwdriver here and look at that. So this is a fairly high mile transmission, and it's showing in the shavings. These are the magnetic steel part of the transmission. Not clutch material, that's typically not magnetic, but anything in the transmission is This could be lots of things, but it is getting picked up by the magnet. So there's quite a bit of material here. But this is not the first time we've done this, right? The last person to change the transmission fluid may not have cleaned the magnet off. Or our transmission's starting to wear out. That's both things that are valid. So, but this says that there's no chunks, there's no lots of pieces here. This is just dirt that fell in. But there is quite a bit of wear on the magnet. But what we'll do next is we're gonna clean all this off so it looks brand new. So we got that coming. We'll time lapse that as well, and then we'll go look at the filter side. Focus Ryan here. So the gasket was still in the transmission, so we pulled that down. This is a reusable gasket, so we're gonna reuse it because it's typically nicer than the cork ones. And so we're just gonna, I sprayed it with a cleaner. In this case, I'm using brake clean, which is probably too aggressive, but we're gonna clean all the dirt and old fluid off of this, and we're gonna go through and between each bolt hole and each bolt holes, we're gonna make sure it's nice and clean. We're gonna make sure that the ridges are there because that's what keeps the fluid in the transmission. If we find any spot that is damaged, where the ridges aren't there anymore, they're pressed in or broken, then we might wanna switch over to the cork one that came with our kit, which I'll show you later. So I'm gonna have my person go through and clean this gasket off. And then we're gonna do the same, probably not gonna time lapse this, but see we have this dirt ridge here. That is just road dirt and stuff, and it's not really even on there. This is actually pretty sweet. Because I think this is actually, yeah, it's a steel pan because the magnet sticks to it. And we're gonna take some of this, and this is punchy, right? Like, I don't think I can get it to come out slow. You get this stuff wet, and you come in with your rag, and you just peel it off. Get the big dirt off first, change your rag, and then we're gonna come in and we're gonna clean this pan right to shine. We're gonna get all this other stuff off, and we're gonna bring it right down to clean, and we're also gonna clean the magnet so it's perfect as well. So that's the next step. So we're gonna do that, and we'll meet you right back here. So while this cleaning's going on, let me show you the filter here. And don't forget, we also have to clean up all these nuts. Bolts, sorry, these are bolts. Here's our kit. We get it from Napa. It's on a card. It's a cheap one. It's about 20 bucks. It comes with the cork gasket, which we're conveniently not going to need. It comes with the O-ring, which I'll talk to you about in a minute. And of course the filter, which is exactly what's underneath the car right now. So once we get the gasket cleaned and not roughed up, and we get the pan cleaned, both sides please, because we're trying to make this thing minty mint. We'll do them a final wipe down with a final clean rag, get these all clean. We'll actually clean them as you cross. We'll take one up, clean it, put it in we'll switch containers over. So those will all be done. And then we'll come back to the underneath of the car here. Now here's our fluid. It looks really bad. And it is really bad. I'll be honest with you. This is really bad fluid. It doesn't smell great, but you know, we caught it in time. It's not a toasted transmission yet, so that's the convenient part. Now, underneath the car here, we got a little bit of drippage because I pulled my pan out. The other place we're gonna have to clean, and this will be the last spot, is right here on the lip. See, the lip is mostly clean, but we're gonna come through here with a rag and make sure that our gasket sealing surface all the way around is nice and clean. Now here is our older filter. See, it just kind of wiggles. The friction of this nozzle here is actually what's keeping it up there. And that ring I just poked to saying we're gonna check it out, that's what actually holds it in. So when we go to take this out, you'll notice we're gonna wiggle it out slowly until it comes all the way down. We'll probably bring our pan back here. We'll wiggle it out, and then we're gonna inspect that little nozzle there. And why I say inspect it is you don't have to always change it, but if it's damaged, you do. Otherwise, what a pain to get out. Ugh, I hate it. So nowadays, I just inspect them, and if they're good, then we just go ahead and leave them in there and put the new filter up and in, and then we put everything else in. So we're getting ahead of ourselves there. So I'm gonna go ahead now and drain that oil off. We'll send it to a recycling facility. We'll bring our pan back, because when we pull this out, it'll glug and drip some more. But I'll get that ready. Meanwhile, the internals are getting all cleaned up, or I should say the externals are getting all cleaned up. And yeah, we'll get this thing done pretty quick. So we have our fairly clean assembly here. We'll get a final blowdown. So here's our new filter. And notice how it's shaped. It's got this ridge here, because this actually sits on the bottom of the pan pretty much. So you work this up into the hole as best you can, and this is more or less going to sit on the bottom here, and it's actually going to be held up by the pan. So it's not just this holding it. It's actually the bottom of the pan as well. And there's that openings that fluids will come up through here and go through the filter. So we've got everything out. We're just gonna put everything back in now. Yeah, go ahead.
It should be.
So if you can, dip your, no, that's fine. Yep, just like that. What I want you to do is dip your finger. Just the tip of your finger in the oil. Yeah, and just get the neck wet. That way it's like a lubricant. Okay, now, yeah, you want to wiggle that thing up in there, just a little bit back and forth. It should fit fairly tight, obviously. Yep. You can give it a little pound or tap too. Yeah. And you'll want to get that thing as in as you can.
There.
Yeah, bring this end up. Yep, that's more flat. Up more, yeah. There you go, yeah. Wiggle, tap. The pan will ultimately push it up, but the more you get here, the better. I wouldn't take a hammer to it, but your hands are fine.
Can't tell what's level. Upside down.
So once we get that in, then we'll put the pan up. Okay, so now we're gonna slam that. We're gonna use 100 hands here, and line up your holes and put it up there.
Right there.
And then you hold it there, and then you use your third arm to grab some screws and start putting them in by hand on the corners or wherever they'll go.
I think we need to move that down a bit.
Sure. Wherever you need to go.
Ah.
That's okay. Sometimes it's easier just to grab a new one.
That one's started.
And honestly, you're going to want to hand start every single one because we're in aluminum land. So if you get one cross-threaded, it's going to just wreck that hole. You don't need every bolt here, but you really need every bolt here. So if you hand start every one, you won't wreck them. This car has a low oil sensor light too. Well, my helper sped ahead of me. So we got the pan up. Hand sink all your screws in and have the pan set against the gasket. And then we're talking inch-pounds of force here. You just want to get it so it's kind of tight. It's hard to say, you know, visually, but you don't want to wrench on the thing because you got the gasket there. We're not looking to warp anything either. So you get it so it's tight, and then you give it a little bit more, maybe 1/8 of a turn, and that's probably as tight as you need to be. And in terms of tightening pattern, you typically want to crisscross. So you start here, and then you come over here, and then you just work yourself back and forth till you get them all snug and tight. And then you just kind of, you can check them to make sure you got them all, about the same tightness there. So we got our pan, our gasket, our new filter. We put the magnet in there. Now we're ready to come up top and fill it full of the go juice. The transmission's all plugged up downstairs. Now we have to put new fluid in it. And the biggest question I always get, because I never really say it out loud, is how much transmission fluid do we use? Well, honestly, we're going to be probably between 6 and 7 quarts. Where do you put it in? The transmission dipstick here. So we'll go ahead and yank this out because it's got all that old crap on it. And we're going to go stick a new filter on it, or a funnel. Boop. And now, right out of the gate, I'm going to drop 5 quarts right in it, and then we can start it up and get it off the ramps. This video is kind of a shooty talky video anyway. It's not really a like how to do it. I got that on the Grand Prix.
Spin the cap off.
Yeah, go ahead, do whatever. Yeah. Now, oh, that's not so bad. Hey, so I'm using this stuff here. Go ahead, write your critiques. It's a generic, very cheap Max Life. It's actually fully synthetic. That's also scary, honestly. I just assume not run synthetic in older cars. But it's automatic transmission fluid. It's Dextron 3 equivalent. Don't put that on your paint. Dextron 3 equivalent. So here's 5 liters actually. So it's a little over, a little under, whatever. Put the whole thing in if you can. It's red, so that's really what we need. It was on sale, and it should work, and it's better than what was in there, is really what we're aiming at. So we got a new filter, we'll have a new fluid. What we're gonna do is drop, I would say, Chief, go about half of that bottle in there. Okay, now here's step B. This is an older transmission, it's kind of beaten up. I usually add some sort of Magic elixir. So in this case, I haven't ever used this stuff before, and I probably don't want to, but I will. I usually drop a little bit, like it's like a cup worth of some seal saver, band fixer, whatever. This one stops slips and stops leaks, hard shifting, controls overheating, renews worn fluid. Well, that I don't care about because we're putting new fluid in here. But remember, in the torque converter, still got about 2 quarts of the old stuff, so we're not getting it all out. I'm gonna drop half of this into this bottle. We're gonna shake it up and then put it in there because this is like molasses, or will be. So we're gonna put it in that bottle there, shake it up, and then pour the rest of that bottle in. And that way we'll have this in it, and we'll kind of count it when we're filling in our transmission. This stuff is red. Let's see if I get that on camera. Oh, it's thick.
Oh.
What am I doing putting this stuff in again? Jeez.
You weren't kidding about it being like molasses.
Yeah, well, everything, Lucas, even the oil stuff is thick. I was gonna drop some in the Grand Prix. It shifts hard occasionally when it's hot in city, but really it's fine. So we're just gonna put a blob of this in here, and we'll use your car as a test vehicle.
Oh, why thank you.
Well, maybe it's the best thing on earth, and we should be putting it in everything.
Good point.
Maybe it's a pile of crap, and I just wrecked your car.
Oh, I thank you. Thanks for putting that idea in my head.
So that's half. I don't need the full, the transmission doesn't have issues as far as I know. So he's gonna put the lid on, and then he's gonna just swirl it about a bunch. That's another Vice Grip Garage tip for you. He uses Berryman's, I use Seafoam, but that's good. Pour the rest of that in there. That's good. Because it's going to mix like that anyway in the car. But the heat and the spinning and all the fun stuff.
Mm.
Well, he waits with that. It has some on the ad on the power steering fluid, so we might want to throw some in there while we're doing stuff.
Just straight down the hole.
Perfect. Go faster. There you go.
If I go faster, it fills up the funnel.
Yes, but then the more force pushes it down the hole. I don't know. Whatever. We'll time. No, we won't. We'll just watch.
Oh.
There's the good stuff.
There's the thick stuff. It all sank to the bottom.
Yeah. And it'll do that in the transmission too. It'll be the first thing the car tastes. It's a slug of that crap.
Get in the car, you.
Does it feel like there's some in there still?
I can't tell.
I guess what we'll do is we'll pour the other two. The other two, I got 2 little quarts there. We'll put them in the big one and then, yeah, shake it around some more. That way we'll know we got it all. Okay, cool. So that's done. We've got enough in there now that it's not going to starve for fluid. So we're going to start it up, back it up off the ramps, get the ramps out of here. And then we can start, checking it a little bit, see how much it's got in it. The other thing is, does this battery hold charge? I think the tires are still all up. That's a good move. We might take it down the road again. Have him move it down the road. Sure. Looks good enough. It's probably got motor oil. Oof. Oh man, these are, gotta get used to that. Oops, I threw the key out. There we go. Will it start? Oh. No. Electrical issue or is the battery dead? The hood light was on the whole time. It's dinging at me. Hey Duncan. This car has a broken fuse box.
Right?
Oh, damn it. This is gonna be a problem. They broke this and the car really needs it to run. That's a problem. They're gonna have to solder that because we're back to life. That was scary. Start quick. We'll have to do some heavy duty soldering on that. Why is my camera so dirty? Alright. So we've got no lights, that's good. And some oil pressure? Yep. Let's back up. And whoosh. neutral. Reverse. Shifter's off. That'll drive you nuts. Okay. So we got fluid in it. I know she's probably not full enough, but we're gonna get our clean paper towel here. Can you pull that stick? And you see how there's pulling on it, or fluid on it?
Rather a large stick.
Wipe it dry. So take a look on the end here. We have add a plank, and then we've got our little cool area here where we're looking to have a level. Okay. Yeah, just stick it in there and all the way in. Transmission's not warm, but that's fine. All the way down, and then pull it out and read it. Wow. Because we are roll it over. That's better. We're here. We need to be here. So let's throw another quarter in it. And this got all dirty. So use that to clean that. Keep the stick out. I guess we got some crap in our car. A lot lower now, isn't it? Why I run it through park and drive is to make sure all those solenoids and all the good. Yep. Yeah, okay, so we got those two in here. We did some more stirring, so we get all that delicious Buicks oil in there. I'm not paid by any of these guys, but I'd be happy if you wanted to. Well, I guess about half of what you put in there. Okay, sweet.
Do it on half, I think.
Right, that's probably good. Put the cap back on. I'll come back here. Brake. Reverse.
Stick back in.
Drive. Reverse. Yeah, go ahead. Pull the funnel. Yeah, we wiped it, right? You gotta wipe it first so we know it's got no level on it. Clean? Yep. Okay. Stick it in there. Can you see on? Why is the idle changing?
Stick.
Green. Alright. Oh, that side looks good. That one looks good too, right to the tip. Just perfect. Stick it in there.
Stick in the thick. There we go.
Well, let's tempt fate. Hop in.
Yay! Wait, am I ready?
Get in.
Oh, shit.
You can't swear on my videos, Duncan.
Oh, dang.
Shooting. This is nice. I like this.
So we got new fluid in it, and it's probably the right level. So you go right ahead and give her the onions. Once you get straight. Onions means hit it. So our okay shift. Does it have a Buick transmission? Is it hard shift? Tough to say. It's doing alright. I'll slow her down here for that. I don't want to take this car too far yet. Cold passenger hot. Oh wow, look at that. Think about that. And we'll try out the reverse gear too. Got something clunking back there. We haven't done the suspension workout on this thing yet either, but lots of reverse. She's soft riding for 3 reasons. It's a Buick.
I turned too much.
I see that. Doesn't have his license yet, but that's okay because I don't have my license on me, neither does he. But
I have my learners, it's fine.
punch it. Like all of what? Hit it.
Oh, this is good.
We'll go to the intersection, so keep the onions on it. Yeah. truck and the Grand Prix would be fine.
Slow it down a bit.
Yeah, towards where the front of the truck is. The Grand Prix will go to work tomorrow.
Just wedge it in.
Yeah, you want to leave yourself a little door space. That's good right here. Hit park. Yeah, stick it in reverse. Clunk, and then drive again. And then cram it in park. Use your pliers and pop the hood.
Pliers and problem.
Yeah.
Where am I pushing?
It's over by your knee, down below. Open your door, it might help. See the pliers?
I see it.
Yeah.
Do
Classy.
it?
Yeah, go pull it and it should pop the hood. Not the lever, the pliers.
Pliers? Yeah, that's what I'm pulling.
Hard. Like you mean it. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Like you mean it. And I didn't bring a rag with me, so. But let's check and see if anything's on fire. You know what's going to be on fire? It's this stupid electrical box. You got to figure that out. Okay. Let's go back to pull the stick there. See what we got. Stick.
Ooh, it's warm.
That's kind of good.
Wipe it down.
What do we got? Yeah, we should have. Okay. The AC works, I think, so you're even winning there.
1, 2, 3, 4. What do we have?
Oh, we're down a little bit, I think. If we added another half a quart, we'd be winning. So that's where we're going to end this video. We'll throw a half a quart in this thing. Overfill's okay a little bit. If you have any questions, this is video 2. 3 is coming. It'll be shorter. Just had a lot to do with this car. We got like body work to do. We got to sand these down because they're yellowy. Lots of stuff. Come on, join me on this fun adventure. Turbo331 is the channel you want to subscribe to for more adventures on this one. Leave comments because you already know how. And we'll see you on the next one.